Hi guys, this is a screencast on learning more about equivalent fractions. So the first thing I want to look at is this actual word, equivalent fractions. So let's take a look at the word equivalent. It's got another smaller word in it, if you can take a look at that. What word is that? That's equal. And we know that equal means same. So when we're looking at equivalent fractions, what we're learning is that something can look the same, be the same part, but have two different descriptions. So take a look at these examples. We have half of a cookie here. We have 2/4 of a cookie. Let me get my pen here. So we have a half, 2/4, and 3/6. Now, all of these parts of the cookie are the same. They're equal. However, the fractions used to describe them look different, but they mean the same thing. It all depends on how many parts the fraction is broken up into. The other thing is when you look at equivalent fractions, you'll start to notice a pattern. Do you notice a pattern yet in these particular fractions? Well, 1 is half of 2, 2 is half of 4, and 3 is half of 6. So there's a pattern in that one. Here's another example. We have 3/4 is the same as 6/8. So you notice these amounts right here are the same. If you look at the shaded amount here and the shaded amount here, it's exactly the same amount. It's just the piece divided into different parts. Though the denominators are different, but the amount is the same. So how do you find an equivalent fraction? So maybe you have a test question or somebody asks you, show me 3 fractions that are equivalent fractions to 1/2. So that means show 3 fractions that are the same as, oops, let me go back, that are the same as 1/2. And so here's how we do that. What we do is we start out with the fraction that we're given. So we're given 1/2. And we need to give 3 fractions that are equivalent to that. So all we have to do is pick a number, any number that you want. So for this one, I'll just pick 3. And we're just going to simply multiply the numerator and the denominator by 3. And that's going to give us an equivalent fraction. So 3 times 1 is 3. And 3 times 2 is 6. So 1/2 and 3/6 is the same amount. So now we need 2 more fractions. So I'm just going to keep dividing. I'm going to keep multiplying by 3. So 3 times 3 is 9. And 3 times 6 is 18. So there we go. Now we have another equivalent fraction. But you notice we have that same pattern developing as we had before. 3 is half of 6. 3 is half of 6. 9 is half of 18. So we could pick another even number. It would have to be even because if you notice these are pattern looks like in the denominators that they're even. We could say let's just take the number 10. And what's half of 10? 5. And there you go. There's another fraction that's equivalent to 1/2. So simply multiplying the numerator by any number and then the denominator by that same number is going to give you an equivalent fraction. Now another question might be is which of the following is equivalent to 2/6? So what we need to do is we need to look at use our fraction bars. So here we go. This right here is our 6th fraction bar. So I'm going to use magenta. So these are our 6th. So we have 1/6 here, another 6th, So we pulled fraction bars for each fraction, and so we're going to just compare them and see which one would be the same amount. So here's our sixth, and I can tell by looking at how many parts there are as to what this one is. There's 4 parts here, so these are my fourths. So I'm going to put my fourths in there, and I can tell here by that there's only 3 that these are my thirds. So by looking at our fraction strips, what we can do is compare. We're going to compare the given fractions and see which ones are the same amount. So we started with 2/6. So what we're going to have to do here is look at the 2/6. So there's my 4. I'm going to change my pen color for this so we can tell the difference. We'll go to green. So here's my 2/6. 2/6 looks like this. Okay? And then it says, is it the same as 2/4? Well, 2/4 look like this. So to me, 2/4 is a little bit more than the 2/6. Then here's 1/3. So does 1/3 look about the same amount as 2/6? It does. You notice here's the bar, and it comes all the way down, and it matches up. So 2/6 is the same as 1/3. So we're going to look at this one. We're going to color in the fraction pi. So if this was already colored, say this is 1/2. Okay, so the fraction here would be 1/2. So now we need to color in over here. So if I took my pen and I colored in the same amount, I'm coloring in half of it, but it's a different fraction because I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. So I have 10 parts, and I colored in 5 of them. So 5/10 and 1/2 are equivalent. So here's one more. So if I take my pen here and I'm going to color in this one, I'm going to color in 1. So that means my fraction here is 1/4. Okay, 1/4. Now if I color in the same size here, I'm coloring in 2 pieces. So my fraction here would be, let's see, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So my denominator here is 8. And my 2 pieces is 2. So 2/8 is the same as 1/4. So you're going to have a practice worksheet for you to do, and you can come back to this screencast if you need help to do it. Good luck.